Okay, the way I found this was quite by accident. I had a buddy of mine that wants to do like a teaching farm, 5-7 years ago. He knew I know a little bit about real estate, and he asked me to find an inexpensive acreage, which was like hard then, but it's impossible now to find inexpensive. What I did was I began watching the tax deed auctions each month to try and find him some property. And only I did. I found him about 3 acres next to railroad tracks out in the middle of nowhere, and he chose not to bid on it. He changed his mind. In the interim, I found that there was a real estate outfit in South Florida that had purchased a whole bunch of sight unseen property all over in Citrus and Marion County. So I thought, well, I'll just look and see what their inventory is. So this is a mess. We've already cleaned this up. It's like refilled itself with trash because I haven't put up a fence. That field was called Tarpon for Investors. I'll name them. Shady as they come. But I'm accustomed to dealing with shady South Florida folks. So I came to look for my buddy. I came out, did the homework on this property. I came out to walk it, see the boundaries, figure out if it was suitable for a farm. And in the process of walking the property, I found something totally unexpected. We'll see it up here. Then there was like a mystery to what this building is. I had ideas because I knew not far from here there was a hotel and a dairy. And I thought this might be connected, and ultimately it was. But it took years of research, interviewing old people, digging through records. This is my property, so there's nobody belongs here but me. And I don't know why there's a regular path out here that's going to stop. I've not been here since hurricane season, and let's see, we had lost one piece of tin, which is, I'll take that. This is going to be a very interesting abandoned building, and I'll explain it because I know, without question, this was the milking barn for Bessie Burntine. That dirt road that kind of is not really a road, but it's a road on the map, that's Burntine Avenue. There's actually a road that comes out here named after Bessie Burntine. I'll tell you all about her. This building says a lot. When I cleared with a skid steer below this, I was very particular. Is that in Gulf Hammock, I killed 3 of my magnolias because the roots are very delicate. So I was able to clear under here without disturbing the roots, which I'm thankful. You see where at some point kids have had a treehouse in that. That's a very unique. I hope it outlives me by a long shot. So let me tell you about the barn here. When I first found it, I did not know at all what it was. And it was, now you gotta understand, we have totally cleared this. This has grown back. This has been cleared and leveled. The palms trimmed. All the trees have been trimmed. A lot of work has been done here. We spent a lot of money saving this building. That tree, which I gotta go back to work on that tree, is coming back, was a volunteer. That was just an acre, and the squirrels had buried there. You know, it had grown on up, and it had compromised the slab. The slab had moved 3 or 4 inches up and had separated the wall. So in order to fix it, we came in, well, these filings are 16 feet in the ground, and we jacked up the slab to level it out and then put grout underneath. So we've already spent $4,000 to level out the slab of this mess. Somebody has been here digging through whatever's inside quite a bit. The roof looks like it's gone. I had enough tongue and groove. I was going to repair it. I may have waited too long. The ceiling is gone now. There's actually a dry area above they use for storage. Now, what this was, you can only really tell now by the holes in the wall where the drain was. Miss Burntine was an elderly lady, and back in the day, before welfare and Social Security and all the social safety net we had now, when people got old, they had to take care of themselves, or the family did. So, you know, folks figured it out. But see this ruins here, this block, all this, it's hard to tell. I'll have to clear it out in time. She had 2 Jersey milk cows, and she kept them here. This is all designed where you could rinse it out. There's a giant well here. It was also a farm, but she had her 2 Jersey milk cows here. And this is where she churned butter and made cream, and she would literally go to all the folks in town and leave them milk and butter on their stoop in the morning. So when you got up in the morning, you would have fresh butter and cream. And that's what Mrs. Burntine did as an elderly lady. to do for ourselves. So yeah, I've not finished clearing this place up. I hope to restore it, but it's getting pretty bad. In fact, you know why the roof is bad? The tin has rotted through completely. See, I've let this sit. I just got the quitclaim deed in the mail yesterday. I've owned this place 3 years. Had I redone the roof, it would be intact, but the roof is rotted away entirely. So this is Mrs. Burrtine's farm. We're going to make it a farm again. We brought the well driller out. It's got the submersible well. It still works. We hooked up a generator. We made water. So we have 5 acres. We have the barn we're going to restore. We're going to make this a farm again. And it doesn't look like it, but it's kind of good to get it now. When it's a farm, nobody will believe what it started out looking like. See, the construction of this building is what tells so much. It was built during the Great Depression. Obviously, the building tells its own story. It's block on the bottom, poured on a slab, half brick, until they ran out. These are repurposed brick from who knows where. Some of them might be fire brick. This is all repurposed material. Above the window, this angle iron is repurposed. See where it had holes bored in it? This was a metal frame, very heavy metal frame for who knows what. They set it up here and they used it for the lintel. They made this, see that board right there? See the paint on it? That's a repurposed board from the 1930s. This right here is tongue and groove pine. That's actually generally used for tongue and groove flooring. It's the same stuff in that tongue and groove ceiling. They needed something to make up that space to put this in, so they just put some tongue and groove flooring in there to make it work. This is rough cut pine. 1x. This is all old school. No, it's just a real weak mortar as they mixed it up. See, they tried to halfway stucco it. And so the mortar just fell out of the wall. It's just gone. Compare it right here. See, that's still, see how solid that is? See, these guys were it's just whoever was building it. They didn't know what they were doing. They were using repurposed material. That's a couple hours work. They did it all in the same day. But the mortar has just fallen out. It's nothing but sand. But that's what makes it a beautiful building. I mean, there's not much for aesthetics. Look right here. They had to make up the difference. See, they had to make up the space difference. So they just used broken pieces of brick just to fill in the gaps. They did not care as long as it filled in the gap. It's just interesting to look at the construction. See how they did this? They used this angle iron, and that's repurposed too. It's got the holes bored in the same way. And then they put the bricks in across over there. And I bet there's a piece of angle iron covered by wood up here. And then all the weight bearing is on this right here, 2 of them. See there, they got another piece of angle iron. That's just repurposed stuff. They just laid it in there. They laid the bricks in crossways. And that way all the weight is not in the middle of that window. I mean, they did good construction with what they had. It's just fascinating to look at.